friends, how are you doing today? I want you to close your eyes and imagine with me all the lead guitarists you can. Are any of them female? Even though we have a population that's over 50% women, I bet you're having difficulties imagining a lady who plays lead guitar. Well, I'm a professor of music at the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga, and I teach a women in music class. I'm also a lead guitarist, and today I'm going to be telling you my story from the guitar perspective. And what I need you to know is that no matter what instrument a woman plays, the issues are the same. So I grew up in a very athletic family. Here I am with my father. It was in Southern California. But I was born with a neurogenic bladder, which made it difficult to do sports and not have embarrassing moments. So I gravitated towards the piano. My mom is a wonderful musician. In fact, I must have played a lot because she moved the piano into my bedroom. So she brought home a guitar, and when I was in high school, and this is a painting I did of it because I loved her guitar. I loved it so much I could carry it with me everywhere. It was like my baby. I could do the singer-songwriter thing. But you know, as much as music was my refuge when I was a kid, when I went to college I was told you can't study music because it's not a valid occupation. Maybe you've heard that before. So yeah, I left college one semester before graduation. It just wasn't doing it for me, and I went out and played solo. Here I am playing in the 80s in Japan, in Fukuoka, Japan. I wanted to be Joni Mitchell. I still have the bangs. But you know, women have been playing music since the beginning of time. Here's Saint Cecilia. She's said to be a muse and bringing inspiration from her very domain. In the 90s, I met Victor Wooten. This was a very important meeting for me. I met him in the back of the Magical Journey bookstore in Nashville, Tennessee. From there, I met the whole family and I started studying with Reggie Wooten. That's his arm on that one side. Yeah. So for about 10 years, you could find me playing most Wednesdays at 3rd and Lindsley Bar and Grill with the Wooten family. I would take the money at the door and they got me up to play. And I don't know if I'd be playing today if it wasn't for the support of this family. But I still felt like an oddity because, you know, I never saw anybody playing lead guitar. And it's important. It's important to see somebody who's doing what you like to do. I wish I had known these pioneers. To the left, Sister Rosetta Tharpe. She is said to have influenced Elvis. And then there's Memphis Minnie, who was the most recorded blues artist of her time. The great fingerpicker, Elizabeth Cotten. And to the right, another fingerpicker is Mother Maybelle Carter, who is said to have influenced the revitalization of the folk movement in the 60s. Okay, here's just a little more history. In the 40s, it was all women who were entertaining the world, right? Guys were off to war. In fact, there's a wonderful band you can see online called International Sweethearts of Rhythm. But there were many bands entertaining. And in 45, when the war ended, men came home and women went back in the kitchen. So this iconic photo from Art Kane was taken in 1958. It's called A Great Day in Harlem, and it's of 57 jazz musicians on a New York strip, on New York Street. So I've circled 3 women. I don't know if you can see that, the 3 women that are here. And you might wonder what happened between 45 and 58, where there's only 3 women present. You know, we disappeared from the from history books. You couldn't find us anywhere on the library shelves. So when the 60s entered, women did not know that they could be in the band. Oh, there are many reasons why a girl might not want to play lead guitar. For one, it's kind of loud, right? And loud has never been considered ladylike. Two, it takes a lot of time to learn an instrument, and not a lot of people want to dedicate that. But parents might not want their girls out late at night playing in bars with alcohol and men, and boyfriends the same. And a girl might not want to choose being on the road where it's difficult to have a family. So I was learning how to play as an adult. I started my first scale on guitar when I was 38. I was a single mom, out working to support my daughter. So you can imagine that was pretty tough because it takes a lot of time to practice. Most people when they're learning are in junior high and high school. But I graduated, the first female, like Robin said, the first female to have a master's in guitar, and my specialty is in jazz guitar. So I'm going to tell you a few stories. And the reason why I'm going to say these stories is because I want you to understand what other girls who you might see who are playing in a band, what they might go through. These stories were from when I was first learning how to play. Now I just push through things, right? 99% of everything for me is like completely awesome. I love being out and playing. But here's some stories. I was going to get up at a jam session. I did get up at the jam session. It was a blues jam session in Nashville. And the rules are that each person gets 3 songs to solo over. The first time it was my turn, the director passed me by. He didn't give me a solo. Everybody else got to solo. Second time, he did the same thing. So the guys in the audience got frustrated and started saying, "Give the girl a solo." Yeah, so I got my solo and I got a good lesson, which was just to stand up and take it when it's my turn. Another story is I was fixing to play with Carlos Johnson at Buddy Guy's in Chicago. Getting up on stage, and some women stopped me and said, "You can't get up there. You're not wearing sparkly jewelry." I thought to myself, what's a lead guitar player that's a woman supposed to be dressing like? Because I didn't have really any examples, right? So this was not a question of was I good enough? This was a question of am I woman enough? So I always feel like I'm caught in a bind. I have to be twice as good to be considered half as good and fully female. Okay, here's some statistics. I called around the country. I wanted to talk to major universities that have both classical and jazz guitar. And I wanted to ask them how many females they have studying jazz guitar as compared to men, right? So these are the percentages. There's no women at any of the universities except NYU. Wow, we graduate more women in law and medicine now. What's up with that? So I thought that was interesting, and I thought, okay, I'm going to look in Tennessee and see in all genres of guitar. This includes, classical, studio, jazz, how many women are studying. And you can see the statistics are higher. And even 50% here in Tullahoma. Oh, but wait a minute. The catch is, until a few years ago, there were 0 women. And the women who are studying now don't play jazz or lead. They're strumming. They're doing the singer-songwriter thing. Oh, when I started to play, I couldn't find an instrument that seemed feminine, They're all made for guys because that was the market. So I had a luthier build my guitar beauty. Music is such a powerful force. We all partake of it. We all know it's good. In fact, music's a spiritual science. It moves people without us ever touching them. And I believe that when we allow women to have a larger voice, our world will change. And I'm not saying that we should have less men, just balance. Parents, you could encourage your girls to play whatever instrument they want to play. Let's break those stereotypes. And teachers, if you have a girl that's showing capabilities on her instrument, encourage her to solo, because the more skill she gains, the higher her confidence level will be. And then higher education, you could hire more women to teach jazz guitar. When I was at Northern Illinois University, I was teaching at their community school of the arts. The numbers tripled of women that were enrolled in guitar. Higher ed, you could bring in performers that play male instruments, for examples. And like Berkeley College, that's partnered with the Girls Rock to give scholarships for girls, higher ed, you can offer scholarships. No matter how difficult it is, you guys, and it's really not much anymore because I've just moved them all out of the way. I kind of understand the obstacles. This is my motto. I've just kept with it. Why? Because I know I matter. I know you matter. If you're thicker or thinner, taller, shorter, a woman, a guy, or what color you are, we all matter. And real beauty is about being real. So today, actually, I'm excited because I'm going to play with my sisters, Ariana, Megan, and Amy, a song that I've written for you guys called Real is Beautiful. So I want to thank you all for listening. Thank you very much.